I'm Joel Vardy here at Agility, and I've got some exciting news for you today. We're going to be launching a brand new component that's going to help you to increase the engagement, increase conversions on your website. And it all starts with a little box. It's a little box that gives you something called site search. And there's a whole bunch of different ways that we've implemented site search over the years. But today, I'm really pleased to be introducing to you for the first time in preview the Agility Search component. Let's take a look. From the Agility dashboard, we can click on the brand new component, and it's called Agility Search, and it's in preview. The first thing we're going to see is the status of our search index. It tells us that we're ready. We've got 409 pages in the index, and it was last completed, the indexer last completed looking at this thing on the 28th at 2:57. That's the last time the documents were indexed. There's two parts of a search index. One is the crawl, where we go out and we take a copy of all the pages and we look at the HTML that's in there and all the URLs and the statuses and redirects, and we put all that together and then we create an index. So one of the things that Agility allows you to do is to control your crawls. So by default, every site that's in here is crawled once a day, but you can actually start a new crawl at any time if you have new pages that have been added to your sitemap, and it should pick those up. So you can see I first crawled this site on the 28th at 2:48, but then it was automatically crawled at 1 a.m. the next day. And then, at 9:11, 10:24, I actually did some of my own crawls. And it tells you the average load time of the page here, of every page that's in the site. So the first time it loaded it, my pretty good, 112 milliseconds. But then when we had some new pages that needed to load a little bit slower. Okay, so that's the crawls, and we can start a new crawl at any time, or if there is a current crawl that's happening, we can cancel that and stop it for whatever reason if there was a problem. So that's pretty cool. Now we start digging into this, we can look at the actual indexed pages and take a look at what's happening inside my index. So we see all of the pages that have been indexed in the site, and everything that's got the different HTTP status that came back, the URL that it was at. So this is the home page, for instance. The size of the page, the language that it was spidered at, and when it was crawled. And if we click on the page, it's actually going to tell us a little bit more information. So it was last modified two hours ago. And then if we look at this, it's going to give us the HTML, the source code for the whole page. All right, so this is what the index will be built from. All right, and if it was referred from another page, we would see that. And this is where all of the, and we can tell that it's included in the index, and all the information and metadata from my page is right here. Okay, and if we want to find different pages, for instance, if I wanted to find all the 404s on my site, I could just type in 404, and it's going to find that for me, and I can see I've got a few pages. I should go in here and look at some broken links on the site that are they need to be taken care of. So we can go in there, and what's really cool is I can now remove these from the site. So I just select the pages, click remove. So that's going to take those out of the index so that they won't be looked at. And of course, 404s by default are in there, but if there's any other page I wanted to take out, we could do that. If I thought there'd been a problem with this page, if I thought, oh no, this should be on here, I can click on this and click recrawl. And that's going to put a little recrawl marker beside this page, and it's going to trigger the crawler to go and kick this page and to see if it can hit it again. So that's if you have a page that maybe was a 404, or it could be that I've put some updates on that page and I want to make sure the crawler hits it again. I can come in here and recrawl this, and that doesn't have to wait for that daily crawl. You can do that right away. So that's pretty straightforward way of looking at your index. Continuing on down through, we've got what's called the search playground, and this is a really cool, basically simulation of the search bar that's on your website, and it's going to give you the default functionality that we provide. There's a backend API for developers for this, but by default you literally drop this search bar onto the site and you get some stuff. And of course, the first thing I like to do is Google my own name, because that's always fun. So brings up some stuff on the site that's from me. I'm going to click on that, and now I'm going to click enter, and we see we've got pretty concise rendering of the title, the URL of the site, and the description, and it tells me wherein it highlights my search query right within here and pulls it all back and allows me to page through these results. Pretty straightforward. And I could click on these to go through to here as well. Right, so that'll take me right to the site if I wanted to go and check out what was happening. So that's the search playground, and it gives you IntelliSense, so we can continue on to do more testing on there, but I actually want to show you that live on the site. So let's just jump over to the actual website here for a second where I've got this page loaded up. So all I've done, I'm going to right click and view source, which I don't normally do, but I'm going to actually do that. You can see I've got this div, class equals Agility Search Panel. That's the only code that needed to be added to this page to pull on the default search panel. So that's pretty sweet. It means I don't have to do a whole lot of work to get Agility Search into my site. So let's see how this one works. Because I'm silly, I'm just going to Google my name again. You can see I get the exact same results. So I'm going to go to here, I'm going to search for myself and the same results. But what if I was going to search for something that's a little more realistic? Because I actually want to increase, ticket sales. Here's another interesting thing that comes back. For these pages, the Open Graph data has been included with the Open Graph image. So if I had an Open Graph image defined on the page, then Agility Search is going to find that. And there's a few other pieces of metadata that we actually pull in, such as category. And we're going to allow this to be extensible in the future. But you can see that there's the power of being able to manage your own metadata and to be in control of the search really gives you a lot of value in how you want to work with your search results. So now that we've done some of that, we've clicked on some links, we've had this running, let's jump back into Agility for a second and let's look at some of the statistics, because one of the things we want to do is increase our engagement, but then we want to be able to track how that's all working within Agility Search. So right off the top, we've got our search stats, and this is going to give us monthly statistics on the number of searches, autocompletes, and conversions. A conversion is a click. All right, so we can see that we've had 30 searches since I started, putting this together today. I've had 54 autocompletes. You're going to tend to get more autocompletes if that's implemented, and if you're using the default implementation. So 54 times. Every time I basically type three or more characters and then pause in the search bar, I'm going to get some autocompletes that happen, and that'll be tracked here. And I've had 9 conversions on this site, and that shows up green. So this is anytime someone clicks on a search result. All right, and now let's dig in a little bit deeper to see what those actual values were. So let's click on our top queries. So this shows me and my time range is in the last month, this is all the different queries that were happening in the site. And since I'm me, I search for my name, and then I search for my first name, and I search for it in lowercase. Then I search for these few things. So you can see that it's pretty easy to find out, for the last month, what's been happening on the site, and I can increase that time range by a bunch of different values. If I click this thing here, I can see what the autocompletes are. And you can see how, I've got a whole bunch of different word variants that are, so I can kind of see as people are going through what they are typing into the search bar and what they're pausing on. And so that can give me some different insights as well. Now, what's really important is how you actually got someone to go to a page from your search. So let's look at the top conversions. So on here, I can see what URLs were clicked on, and this is, again, the time range is this month. What are the top URLs that were being clicked on from the search results? And the first one, because I'm selfish and I'm me, I clicked on my own name 3 times. But then you can see that I clicked on the team page, I clicked on John's author page, and a few things other there. So you can really quickly tell which content is being searched for and which content is being converted on in your site the most, really easily within a specific time range. Well, there you have it. A brand new Agility Search component launching in preview today. And I can't wait to see how folks use this on their websites to drive more engagement and increase conversions. If you want to try Agility Search today or tomorrow or anytime, email us at support@agilitycms.com. Take care.